Hello, and welcome back to Dull Bulb Streams at times that you couldn't possibly expect. How would you possibly know? Um, yeah, it's been a while. Not that long. The last stream was the Pudma stream, which I think was actually really fun. Can you guys hear me okay? It looks like my mic is being uh is working. Yep. Hello, Lucy. Double stream, what a treat. Yup, we're back. We're so back. I don't know. It's like it's coaching has been going really well. Um, so because of that, it's like whenever I have time to do Netrunner stuff, I'm like, I want to play Netrunner because I like playing Netrunner. I want to do YouTube. I want to stream, but also I've got people who want coaching, and I love coaching. Coaching pays money, which is also pretty tempting. So it's like there's a lot of different ways to fill up my Netrunner specific time, and I also have a job. So, and I also have a fiance and social life. So it's not easy to fit everything in, but we try. Hey, Asmuran, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a moment. Um, Tough choice. Brazil, Japan sounds like fun. Ah, is there World Cup tonight? Am I competing with the biggest event on at the moment? Well, um, Xylarth, hi Bob, nice to meet you. It was nice meeting you at Reading. Um, Nice meeting you as well. I cannot remember your face, but if you tell me, did I play against you? If you tell me what deck you were playing, I'll be able to remember who you were. I'm sorry. I'm not that good at remembering tags to faces all the time. Be unemployed, it's way easier. Well, yeah. Unfortunately, my job pays me like just a bit enough that it's like it's also a work from home job, which makes the whole streaming thing way easier because I don't need to commute. If I had to like work, commute home, and then boot up the stream, you guys would see a lot less dull bulb because that would be what like I don't have great energy reserves as it is. My job is very chill, but being able to finish my work and then just immediately boot up the stream at my same desk makes things a lot more like appealing to actually do. I was the Hiram Atea player. Well, that's one of one. Hiram Atea player. I don't think we had a game, but we definitely had a drink. Excellent. Um, yep, that's fantastic. Hiram Atea. No, maybe I don't think I played against Hiram or Atea because I would definitely remember that. But splendid to meet you also. Um, and if you'll be at Bristol, I do intend on going there too. Speaking of UK tournaments, let's all take a look at what happened in Sheffield because there was a CTK, I believe, that happened. So we're going to go to Netrunner Cobra. And we're going to find recent tournaments. Summer CTK, do. Sheffield, June 2026 CTK. Can I pairing standings? Chunky Seal wins. Okay, the least surprising result ever. If you don't know, Chunky Seal is a fantastic UK player who's just kind of been winning everything recently. Has beaten me in a couple of games, which is of course devastating. But I think our record is now even because I've won the last two games we played, which have been really fun games. Avasana try hard. Avasana can do it, and Chunky Seal it has the source. I actually think Chunky Seal's Avasana list is extremely premium. It's posted every time, and basically whenever someone wants to play Avasana, and I get a couple of people who say that they want to play Avasana. I get it. She's a very appealing, and she is strong in a very unique way. I kind of just steal Chunky Seal's list and say, just take this. It's hard to cook up the perfect Avasana list, and I think Avasana list needs to be quite tight to really win. Playing is easy, winning is hard, and I think Chunky Seal knows how to do it. And I'd be curious as to what HB list this is. I assume combo PD, but I kind of would have Chunky Seal pegged as like a scoring, like a seamless PD player potentially. So I bet the lists will be up actually. Stats. Oh my god, people complain about the meta, man. Like this is perfect. Like harmony has been found. I've been binging your coaching content the last couple of days. It's great stuff as a Laps player. I'm glad you're enjoying it. You know, I didn't expect the coaching stuff to be like basically received at all because it's extremely long and like dry academic content for that I target for a specific player. Like it's I watch their replays and decide what they most need to learn to meet their goals, and then a couple of times that people say, "Hey, I want this put on the channel. Like I'm fine with this being put on the channel," so I put it up without really the expectation that many people would watch it. But actually, people have been watching it, and people have been giving me really nice feedback, which is super, super nice and makes me very happy. The coaching has been going really well. The lessons, I think, have been valuable to the people who've taken them. And when I can upload them, and everyone plays better Netrunner this way, I think it's really, really good. Why is everyone playing Wayland? That is a bizarre thing that's on my screen right now. 42% of people were playing Wayland. This was not a bigger tournament. This was 19 people, which is pretty big for a CTK. Like a casual tournament, but not that big overall. So I think it's more prone to like weird data because like, you know, not that many people need to bring Wayland for it to look like this, but holy 42% of people playing Wayland. There are like no Wayland decks that I want to be playing right now, in my personal opinion. I'm a bit of a bad pub skeptic. I usually think like I've never lost to it, and I don't really believe in it. I think it's super beatable. Orb, I think, is real somewhere. I don't think the right list has been quite developed just yet. BTL's fine, but I don't know, like it's too boring for me. Bangoon, I've had people tell me Bangoon is playable. I don't believe that either. And Zuki I put in the same bucket as probably it's about as good as Nuvang. Well, what do I play at Bristol? All runner is negative fun right now. Have you played the Pudman list? It's brutally difficult and not absurdly good, but if you hard call that you're only going to be playing into Melius, which is what I hard called, it's actually not that bad, and you can just be better than your opponents and actually and win. It's really fun. But otherwise, I think there's a couple of good calls. Awasana is probably better than the amount of play it's seeing. I think you can just play Chunky Seal's list and just win games. Well, I don't think it just wins a game. I think you're quite good and you could probably win games with it, Lucy. You like playing decks that just are better, though. Like, are better than your opponent's deck. So maybe the best answer is like... You could play Magic. You could play Magic Woman. No one's been doing that. No one's been even trying Magic Woman after the ban, after the Ashen ban, which fair. It's kind of annoying now. Bangoon will have its day. I I think if Let Them Dream is such a crazy Bangun card that if Let Them Dream doesn't do it, I think it's going to be hard to do. But it's possible that they print an agenda that is like so Bangun, or like a strategy that is so Bangun that it actually works. Because the text is like, when it matters, it's a lot of text. Um, why two boat players? Why two boat players? Okay, let's have a look here. This is very distressing to me. I don't know exactly what they're playing. I assume it's some nonsense, some Zato City Grid nonsense, which is terrifying. If this is being played, you cannot play the Padma list. You just don't do it. So if this is what they're doing, disaster. I'm going to find recent deck. Let's see if I can get Chunky Seal, Hermes Alley. Okay. Was this the one that was at the... Okay, Hermes Arasana. I don't think this was what I've seen before. All right. Chunky Seal. I trust anything that Chunky Seal does with Arasana. Often has Wake Implant, even though I hate installing Wake Implant. Yeah, Chunky Seal's been on one deep dive, one Wake Implant as like the win con, and I think that's really cool. They should print another console. Wow, yeah, you don't want to play Rotary? You don't want to play Rotary? Everyone on Hermes these days, it's really good. I don't think it's like better than Lilypad. I think that would be like, Lilypad's also really good. But Hermes is useful in ways that other things aren't useful. And if you're expecting combo PD, it's like you just can't get that effect outside of Hermes, right? Shapers don't have good cards. They can tank the Wake. Shapers have good cards. Come on. Environmental testing? This is 6 credits. Kidding me? Creative Commission? This is like banned for a while. They have good cards. Hermes is just too cool right now with Let Them Dream and combo in the meta. Yeah, like there's a lot of reasons to be liking Hermes. There really is. Like, not only is it just good, it's also good specifically against what I still think is probably the #1 strongest theoretical deck, which is the combo PD. Let's see if Chunky Seal has published their PD list, because it said that they won with PD and first at yeah, it was a combo list, was it? Okay. And what sort of combo list? 2 Flood, 1 Neurospike, 1 YDL. You don't always do 2 Floods in these lists. So it's unusual to be on 2 Floods and a Neurospike. So that means that there's no... Okay, so this is not a simulation reset list. This is quite different to some of the other Neurospike lists. The first Neurospike list that I saw was simulation resetting for more nano managements. I guess this way, they're on 2 nanos. Oh, interesting. Okay. iSuite's exactly the same, I think, at a glance. No Hagen, but I never really thought the Hagen was all that. I like... Yeah, 1 Vego, 3 humanoids. Okay, okay. Interesting. Okay, 2 Floods. So what are you getting back? You're getting back like a nano management, I guess, rather than pulling back the Flood, so you need less upfront clicks. He said he won some games that could have been won without comboing, but lost some games because of no sim reset. Yeah, man, I need to play. Thing is, I could play the combo PD. I do like the puzzle, but it would be it would be a lot of time and focus doing exactly that. And I think knowing exactly the nuances of doing the combo doesn't really help your counterplay to it that much. You should just the counterplay is going to be kind of the same regardless, probably. So I don't think there's that much like competitive value to me learning it, and it would take so much time and effort focused on that, and I hate doing things suboptimally. So even though you don't need to play perfectly to win with it, it's better to play perfectly to win with it. if you have spare slots, it's fine to slot in some safety like sim reset, especially if it's going to be a long day. Oh, you reckon sim reset's like a stability piece, not like I thought it was like. I guess it's both, right? Like it can get you the cards that you suddenly lost or like got cupped or whatever, but it can also make the combo more powerful by actually being a click positive card in itself. 80% of the games I've seen where someone's played sim reset, they could have done a better line and not needed sim reset. I guess that's true if you've got like spin doctors down, right? But if you're not doing any recursion, I don't think the combo is that impressive, right? Unless you like, you got 5 servers and then you can basically do whatever you want. Man, oh man. This is the world we live in, hey? This is showing as not legal. I guess it might have... What's illegal about this? Ban list leaked? No. Uh, I've played the second flood to try and get the combo ready faster. Okay, so you just like table an agenda and you can just get going on like turn 2. MRDB legality is not consistent in any way. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Usually what triggers it is people have old copies of things like hedge fund or sure gamble, and then it's like, no, that's not the sure gamble you're allowed to play in standard, so it's not legal. But I actually, at a glance, don't see any cards that are reprints. So I don't know why this one particularly is flagging. Doesn't really matter too much. Um, Okay, second flood to get the combo ready faster makes perfect sense. There also is some resilience because if they do cup the flood or SF trash the flood in some way, then like it's fine. You've got the other one. Flood's just kind of it's pretty good. Old daily cast when you import something from Jinteki is so annoying. Yeah, I agree. Like it always fetches some. It's fine some card that I didn't even realize was a reprint, and then kneecaps me for it. Um, cool. So that was first. Hermes, Arasana, and Combo PD. Hermes Arasana winning is awesome. I kind of want to try this out. Um, my one loss could have been avoided by having a sim reset. Okay, so we're hearing in from the man himself. Sim reset might be better than 2 floods. 34 witches scored through with the one flood cupped. Yeah, you don't. The crazy, like a testament to how ridiculous this deck is that you can generate enough clicks to get a kill. You can't really score, but you can get a kill, a 6 damage kill by not even having the flood. You can just use the advance action, and that's sometimes good enough. But that requires a really set up board state. Just one sec. My fiance just got home. I'm gonna say hello. Uno momento. Okay, I'm back. At Reading, there was a game where Lander had flood cupped. I saw this game actually. I was standing over this one and I was doing the math, and it was very difficult. And could have found the win despite it with a better play. He needed to take 2 more credits from a flood, assuming you mean a flop, and compress draw to install with TDS. TDS top-down solutions. Yes, okay. To be one click richer, which then would have been enough to win. Yeah, top dancers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, this stuff is so powerful. I wonder whether it is going to be addressed because it is cool. I think it's cool, and I like looking at the puzzle being played out, and I don't mind playing against this because I think if I lose, sometimes I get blown out by it, but like it ends quickly, it doesn't hurt. And like there was something I could have done about a lot of the time. There were decisions that mattered, but the power level is actually crazy, and the better people get at it, and the more refined the list gets, the better it'll be. And I wonder if this is actually better than the off-world office decks ever were. I think probably not. I think the off-world office version was maybe stronger, but I wouldn't say that with like 100% confidence because I think that that list was also like nuts. I think this deck and Magic warrant a tournament rules change for overtime. There has already been a tournament rules change for overtime that uh, I don't want to take credit for it, but I made it exist, which is that if your turn ends and overtime is being called, like if overtime is called during your turn, you actually have a finite amount of time. I believe the time settled on was 5 minutes, where if you don't have your turn finished by then, it just insta like ends. Like that's the legal amount of time you have. So there is infrastructure in place because of the deck that I made, the combo Maggie deck, even though that deck actually very rarely went to time in reality because it it either won or lost before then usually. But in theory, like it was a concern, so they put those rules in for that deck, and then it actually matters because this deck can take a little bit longer than you might think. And sometimes you actually do go to time, and then you still got to think out the turn, and then it becomes like a quick time, like a mental exercise where there's actually a lot of stakes to getting everything thought through in time. Sheffield had the 5 minute overtime limit too. Yeah, that's just a organized play rule now, so that is should be consistent for every judge to enforce. And if you want to call it the dull bulb rule, you have my blessing. I think that would be funny. This deck never goes to time. Yeah, I mean, maybe if you're a quick thinker, it doesn't go to time. I think in terms of the actions being played, it doesn't have to go to time. But I think I could imagine a game where there's a couple of false starts where you have to like run through the math. You decide you don't have it, you play another turn, and then you have to do the math again. And then I could actually see those games going to time while both players playing entirely sincerely and not trolling at all. Just uh, rarely went to time because it won or lost. Those two be the options. Yeah, I suppose that is every deck. Every deck doesn't go to time because it either wins or loses. But yeah, like, but with Magic, I mean, like, either my opponent found a win condition that made any sense, that won within the 6, 7 turns that they had, or I do my thing and then I just end it. Like, my turns aren't taking an unusually long amount of time until the last one, which is not that far into the game. So yeah, any other cool decks? King Solomon #2, well done, Mr. Solomon, and well done, Chunky Seal, of course. Alco and Vic. Alco and Vic. Now, hey, King Solomon, have you published your Vic list? Because that's sweet. I would love to see if someone's done Vic better than I did it, which was just putting all the very normal cards into Q Loop's been mentioned in chat. Just put it up. Virtual Insanity. This song was recommended to me again on my YouTube algorithm. Virtual Insanity by a fellow in a hat. I can't remember his name. And it goes hard to this day. And the video is delightful. Okay, so there's some crazy. I'm seeing crazy things. Okay, let me take a moment to get this into my mind. I like the buzzsaw in Vic, and I have switched over my criminal list to using buzzsaw list because I think you just need the efficiency. I've decided that yeah, Shibboleth is too bad. Buzzsaw, Carmen, 3 Marjana, and a Rising Tide. So this is about as good of a Doom rig you can get for 3 influence. The Marjanas is just like you overdraw them and they're just fodder for the Rising Tide, and then a Revolver. So yeah, I like this. We were not on Tungsten Tailor though. So we're kind of half doing the Doom Rig, but then we're doing Leech as a one influence version of Tungsten Tailor. I think that's reasonable. What's our MU looking like? We've got, because if you want that, you know, the Doom Rig in this case, Rising Tide, Buzzsaw, Carmen, and then we've got a Leech. We've got a Flex slot and 2 Chesva. How are we fitting all this with just Hermes? Okay, so I guess we just got to keep our Flex slot clean. I think that's fine. It has the borrowed goods. Hell yeah. Oh man, how many times did this get played? Oh brother. And the prognostic, hell yeah. Got played every game. That's so funny. I guess you can prognostic it out for one, and you just gotta take a tag, or you could just already be tagged. It's great. Yeah, I bet it is. That's so funny. The prognostic, and then we're prognosticating out boomerangs, simul chips, wakes, wincon, wake twinning. Twinning works with just. Am I seeing this fight just the Chesvas? We got no companions. Just Chesva? That's what we're doing? Of course we got transfers, of course we got gambles. Spec works for the Marjan is really fun. I like that Spec works one influence. I feel like that's... It doesn't seem like a one influence card, but I'm glad that it is, because you get to see neat things like this. 2 pinholes, 2 clean getaways, 3 bravados, that's all expected. And then 3 cast, 3 dream nets to make running make any sense. Okay, so looking at this, I would say that this would surely lose to Melee SU, but I mean, it's 2 getaway because they want to be 45 cards. You can't cut like a prognostic, right? Here, that would be crazy. But yeah, two clean getaway in a DreamNet deck seems like probably the wrong number. Something needs to change to get the 3rd one in, but whatever, doesn't matter. I mean, it has Hermes, so it's going to have some equity into, you know, combo PD. But like assets, are assets not going to be an issue? What do people say? I'm glad it's a Vickless with Boomerang. Yeah, I think our Boomerang makes sense in basically every criminal list. There's no reason not to do that. Deck is pretty fast. Is it fast? Is it fast? I don't know. I don't know if this is fast. I don't think it's really fair to call this fast. It's definitely not like, you know, slow. And it has a revolver, but like you don't, like if there's a fly swatter, I guess you have Boomerang, right? Like, well, you don't have anywhere to like, you know. Reg Malaise is pretty fine. Bite Spam Malaise is a problem matchup. Yeah. You're a svelte 45 card deck hates to see a 3-bite Meleus coming. And it's been kind of annoying me because it's just like, alright. Like, sure. Every card is bite forever. Whatever. DreamNet is really good into assets. Yeah, it is on turn like 4 if you install it on turn 1. It is really good into asset and really good into alco. That's true because you get draw on critical turns at critical times. So I do like, you know, Vic into assets was never really the big problem. The reason why I stopped playing Vic regularly was basically melee SU, because the singles runs that you needed to make your runs make any sense just were the worst thing that you could be doing, which is why like Chesva twinning, being like you have to make a centrals run every turn to get this endgame value seems tough. But unusually, like this is fine. There were 3 melee SU players, so maybe it's fine to do it. Yeah, I could see this being good into Alco. I could definitely see it being good into Zuki. In fact, I think this would probably crush So like all the Wayland decks that are here actually like stomp them. So that's good. In fact, yeah, with the Rising Tide too. I like this list. This is good. I think this would lose to Malleus U though, which would be the big issue at a tournament where Malleus U is being played the amount that I would expect Malleus U to be played. I did just beat 3 Waylands. Yeah, I think this deck would crush Waylands. So that's good. Glacier Orb would get rolled. Yeah, I think every orb would get pretty screwed up by like the combination of like many redundant programs. Um, you've got Boomerang for like stuff because I think transfer is not easy to deal with. I think you like it's hard to stop DreamNet in a sensible way. Central's pressure, like this would blow up Orb, this would blow up Wayland, so I could see it doing very well here. I think it makes a lot of sense. So profound medical to say I think I'm going to see loads of Wayland at this NMCTK. That's fun. Thunderbolts Chad over here. What was your um what was your corp, eh? Alka. Harm egg. Illegal according to NRDB. Humanoid measured, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Anything else here interesting? No, not really. Yeah, it's a good list. Seen it before. It's good. No doubt about that. Not as cool as the Plutus list. No one has played the Plutus list. I explained why it was cool and good, and no one gave a hoot. Just Davs' list -1 anemone, lion's mane +1 Atini. Yeah, okay. And probably like how often do you even res those cards, right? Like I put my Plutus Alco, which is like a similar thing, which was like I took a list that I made last meta. I put 1 lion's mane in it, and I raised it like I considered raising it like 1 time. Which brings us around to what I'm actually going to play today on Netrunner, which is hold on, got a DM. Which is I'm going to play the Plutus because I talked about it in the last video, but I think it'll be cool to see it actually be played. So why not do that? Plutus Mirror Morph is the latest from Hob. That's a cook. You've said words that will take me a moment to internalize. Plutus just makes everyone want to brew. It's the card that fires neurons and loses games. It won me a lot of games. I won 5 games in a row with this thing. But yeah, you're right. Like it is a card that like it is one of the few cards that we have in I think it came out in Elevation that was like it begs to be experimented with and cooked in weird ways. There's not a ton that actually do that. But Plutus is like it asks to be used in weird and wonderful ways, and I think that's really cool. I think we're going to get a lot more of these as the devs like allow for things to become more complicated after Elevation. But because I think we've done like the core of like we've got System Gateway, we've got Elevation, we've got Vantage Point, we have this svelte package of fundamentals stuff that I can experiment with for a long time because I'm me. But generally, I think people are hungry now for like really weird and alternate strategies, which are now they're probably ready to play. Now, this hand is cool. It's got a Bladder War, doesn't have a cohort. It's got a Spin Doctor, which can find stuff. It's got some eyes, has no agendas. I think this is probably a keep. I can also dump my hand with the Plutus to I'm going to new remote and draw with Spin Doctor because I would like to find cohort with an ice. which just requires drawing a cohort, or another bladderwort would allow me to bladderwort duck to have them actually fire. So I think this is worth doing. All right, I'm just gonna throw these down. That can deal with them. What this deck is trying to do is basically just like put too much stuff on the board so that they can't pay attention to centrals. And if they're not paying attention to centrals, I can fast advance all my points out. Offensive win is down. That's going to be tough. That's going to put a timer on how long we're allowed to. They drew, install fencer, draw, creative commission. This is going to let us do this and this. Start turn, bladderwort, ping. Beautiful. It's going to be server 3. Let's think about this for a second. Anemone server 3 makes sense because I would like, they probably want to raise the bladderwort and I would like to anemone them. Powers, not such a big deal. Probably doesn't deserve an ice, but maybe I can just fly swat of it. I know what's going in the other one. I technically am not at bladderwort money, but if I raise either ice, I will be. But if they just don't interact, I won't be, which is a bit of a shame. I could put down the moon pool, which would get me to bladderwort money, but it's pretty unuseful right now. The Plutus could be the second proc that I need. So maybe it's like I install Plutus, I install Moonpool, and I install Anemone, and then I've got 3 cards in hand, and I'll be happy to raise Plutus and get my proc. New remote. I want this Anemone on server 3. I want Fly Swatter in front of Plutus, maybe, or Fly Swatter in front of Powers. Let's do Fly Swatter in front of Powers. I think I'm going to be scoring. I want to be recurring stuff. This could be useful. And then I can dump this hand. It's not that useful to me right now with the Plutus, which gives me an Alco counter. If they want to trash a Spin Doctor, I'm more than happy to let them do that. That is just a waste of their time. Well, not really. Like, they feel good because they're spending offensive credit, but that offensive credit is basically a real credit for them. They're welcome to trash this Plutus if they would like to. It's just going to cost them 3, right? I can just install the next one later. Casts is slow. This gives me a big window. It's going to be a lot of money. They've got well set up for money. They want to play another card here so they can get their draw. Taka is probably not a reasonable install. I have no idea how they're going to make that make sense in terms of getting a program down with this credit total and actually using it. Seems unlikely to me. And we don't get a proc. I could draw, install, or I could play Moonpool. I could just install. And I think that is really cool to do. So I'm going to do that. 1, new emote, server 6. Cool. Plutus Moonpool is neurons. Yeah, Plutus Moonpool, very cool. Yeah, we're doing all sorts of nonsense. Moonpool does not work with Plutus, especially like unusually well, because Plutus trashes the card face up, and Moonpool requires that the agendas be face down. So like Plutus doesn't really have synergy with anything that we like want to do in Jinteki, but it can fast advance out cards, and that's sweet. Really? Overclock. Overclock. All right, I'll there's this. You better go find that you better go find a revolver now. Spending the Taka credits, but you won't be able to trash this bladderwort now. You might just be dead, unless you can do everything. This was ballsy. This was a ballsy play from our opponent. Yeah. Because like, if they break this subroutine, which they can do, they can't do because they got Echelon. If they got Revolver, they could have done it. But even if they did that, they wouldn't be able to afford to trash Bladder Warp. And the Bladder would ping them for 1, and then they would die. So this is why you contact me on Discord for coaching, and I'll tell you the order in which you should play your turn, which will involve running before, like doing the high variance plays where weird things can happen before you commit things like Touchstone. Because yeah, doing this in the wrong order meant that like there was no opportunity to draw to recover from the fact that this was an enemy. And against Alco, you have to assume everything is an enemy until proven otherwise. Hashtag ad, yeah. Sponsored by yours truly. But I've also uploaded some free lessons that you can just watch, which my latest video before this one was the turn structure one, which is how to structure your turns more safely, because their turn was install SMC, draw, install SMC, install Touchstone, play Overclock, which is you're at the very, very end of your turn finding out what's happening, which is really late against a deck that you have no idea what I'm up to. You don't have no idea what the size could be. You really want to be finding out sooner in your turn if you possibly can. The res gave you the Bladder Duck, so even if they don't die, I don't like the run. Yes, it's hard to know that this matters. I guess you're absolutely right. They could have just done nothing and assumed that like if I have to res a Moonpool to get the duck, it's not that big of a deal. I would have done it and it would have been fine. But yeah, I didn't like this run regardless. The game plan that they were setting up was like a slow, like I'm gonna win over a long time idea, and this was like maybe assessing too much, like placing too much urgency on this board state. Now our draw was pretty good. They were going to get blown out basically no matter what they did, I think. Because yeah, we had a lot coming. I'm the target audience for the dry academic Netrunner content. That's fantastic because I didn't know that it would land, but everyone seems to have been enjoying it, which is awesome to see. I'd rather try and chase assets that let you duck for Bladder. Like, yeah, they could run the Moonpool. I think that would make a lot of sense because they have no idea what this is. If this is another Spin Doctor or something like that, it wouldn't even be that bad. Makes sense to be doing a run. This run is a bit scary. Just draw one more and play Touchstone Overclock next turn. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense too. I think. Anyway, we'll try again because I didn't get to res the Plutus that game, but I did play Plutuses, and you can see 3 to trash. If you put enough things that cost 3 to trash in your deck and you just play them onto the board, life is actually not so bad. The Epiphany solution. Yeah, Epiphany is really good at that. But I would say Alco is even better because you get the draws. If you see the top 4 cards, I mean, I guess Epiphany also sees the top 4 cards because they also see the mandatory +3. But you know what else is 3 to trash? Measured response. Never say that again. It is not the same. We're not just throwing our influence at 3 to trash Wayland cards and just saying that like you can't afford to do all this. I will not be associated with such. But no, actually they're very, very similar lists. This has a different agenda suite. So it feels different, but it's actually not that different. I like the Regenesis Fuji Plutus. I liked the Regenesis Fuji line. Plutus allowed. Am I crazy to not see it in this list? Is it too consistent? It does not work the way that you would hope that it would. And that's because if I bring up my decks, this one, Plutus says, as an additional cost of res, reveal and trash 3 cards from HQ. So these cards are all trashed face up, because if you trash a card while you're revealing it, the runner's seen it, so that it's face up. Regenesis says, much to my chagrin, well, it actually is very good for the game that this is the case. You may reveal one face down agenda in archives. So you cannot use Plutus to get the Fuji in. And like you could use it if it was already rezzed to fast advance out a card by RFGing a card that installs the Regenesis from your hand while there's already a Fuji in the bin. So yeah, that would work, but that is asking too many stars to align, whereas this deck actually asks astonishingly few stars to align. A lot of the scoring is done without too much weird setup. There's no like big combo that you're spending a lot of time setting up. You're just letting cards fly. For example, we can combo out with, and that's why they're all just 3/2s. The deck is just rammed full of 3/2s. Like really fast advanced lists like fast advancing like Obelists used to love running loads of 3/2s. Wayland in general with Audacity would just run loads of 3/2s. Because 3/2s are really easy to fast advance. They're by far the most point to fast advance ratio. Obviously, if you can get a Regenesis Fuji, there's 4 points. It's a lot, but actually, it's asking too many things to align. Whereas like Nano in a 3/2 or Moonpool 3/2 asks basically nothing of you. Even just a Plutus asks not that much. It's D. D's a great player. Let's have a look at this hand. Hansei is a proc, but I don't have anything to use the money on. Moonpool is not that great immediately. Longevity is our best agenda, but I don't really see a plan for it. So I don't have a plan for how I'm going to play this hand, so I'm going to mulligan it. This is not great unless I draw an ice. Cross fingers. Boom. Powers. No good. We might have lost. No, we can figure this out. I could draw play. That seems bad. I'd like to draw for an ice. Disaster. I could... I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I could just play 2 cards. Both of them get trashed. It costs them an amount of money. Whatever. We ball. I'm not using the peer review because at present I don't have a reason to think that it does anything. Like it doesn't give me a useful amount of money. I'm also not playing the petty cash because you never play petty cash in this deck if you can avoid it. They're running, so something's gonna stick. They've hit nano management. They don't know what we're up to, I hope. And they get lucky. This is why D wins games. Lucky. Because if that cohort proc will actually see quite a few more cards. I'm going to... Do I just install Hybrid Release and get the cohort back? It's tempo. Close your eyes, guys. You're about to witness sick tempo plays. We're going to keep a card private, which is going to be the Fuji. We're going to install the hybrid in the root of a new remote server. We're going to advance, score. And that's going to put this out here. Hey, we got a point. If you're complaining about a point, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I don't understand the HQ hits, but whatever. Like, they know there is an agenda in there, of course. They might even suspect that there's 2, but there's other things to be doing also. Okay, Gourmand could be an issue. Let's draw. I could Hansei Petty Cash, or I could Hansei an agenda so that I can play a Spin Doctor. I think I want to Hansei the Fuji so that I can spin it away. Makes sense to me. I might raise this Fuji before they run, because I would really not want them to gourmand the nano management. Although if they gourmand the nano management, I would just spin it. Yeah, okay, they're just making me do this first. That is fine. I want to leave the peer review in. I don't really care about the Hansei review. And they've got this powers down. They're probably going to trash it. But the fact that I have a powers makes me kind of want to leave cohort in there. So that I can summon it out again later. But maybe that's greedy. Whatever, we'll just get the Hansei back in. It's an uninteractive counter that we could use. This play is desperate. You guys are not real scorers, is what I'm noticing. You guys have never seen a jammable hand before, is what I'm seeing. Ice would be good here. Ice. I'm very happy that we've drawn these two pieces of ice. These are going to go a really long way. If they still have an agenda, we're very sad. They've hit nano management, they're almost certainly going to gourmand it, and now we're sad that we can't spin it back in. They're overdrawing 2 cards. Doesn't really matter, we're not a grinder deck, but whatever. What is scoring? I like having 4 points for measured. There's no love left in the game, man. We're going to action our jammable hand. Now, do we Bladderwort or do we play Fly Swatter in front of server 2? I quite like... I could even put... Yeah, if I put the Fly Swatter in front of server 2, it would be nice. If I put the Bladderwort down, they're going to check both of them. They actually have quite a lot of money. I like my powers, and it's about to give us another... Well, it's going to give us probably a cohort, but that's not bad. It's not that good. Three HQ runs, 3 nano management accesses. Well, one of them I didn't like, so think about that. I think that is no biggie. As long as they don't see an agenda off the top here, they immediately see an agenda off the top. That's a disaster. Okay, well, this has gone suddenly very poorly. Now, that didn't have to happen. That was, that's tough. They're going to run powers? No, they don't want the loop lock, I guess. Now I could install advance this hybrid. It doesn't get back anything to flash because we don't have ice. I could draw ice, like, so that I can get the cohort ticking. I think that might be more sensible. Let's put a Fly Swatter in front of server 2. And a Boto in a new server. That way next turn I can get the cohort behind the Boto maybe. By scoring out the hybrid and summoning out the cohort from the bin. Okay, Rising Tide is fine. I'm glad that we did Fly Swatter rather than Simac. They've demonstrated that they're happy running for singles on HQ. Okay, now they do get a... I forgot about this Hermes Fox. Maybe this line was a little bit less good than I hoped that it would be. Let's... 1, 2, 3, maybe? Not clear how I should play this. I could cohort Bladderwort, Ice HQ. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, this hitting this agenda so we couldn't get to 3 is really annoying. The game's going to be a lot harder now. If we can summon out 2 cards with this hybrid, we're going to get a lot of tempo. This is also a lot of tempo. Because this is a full juicer. I don't think they can afford to break this. They're probably going to let this fire, which is a lot of counters for us. If it hits Steel Skins and Strike Funds, it's not great. But we have an Iced Res now, which is going to be useful for Hermes purposes. Full break. Okay, I think that's too much money, right? Like, you get the 4 back, you got 2 sitting on daily cast, but full break of Boto? I guess they thought that was an agenda, maybe. And this Bladderwort's currently online, which would be huge. I'm surprised they let that full break when that was a Raindrops run. Sorry that they full broke that. So expensive. Fence of Fueno makes a lot of sense to come down. Take a credit? Oh. I'm going to get my Bladderwort dollar. Immediately, first damage of the game hits a Steelskin Scouring. Now you guys know what it's like to be me. Okay, so whatever I trash here, I can get out with Hybrid Release installed. So if I trash the Spin Doctor, I can install it with the Hybrid Release, which sounds really useful to me. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep the Fuji and the Anemone in hand. I think that's fine. Then I'm going to install Advance Hybrid, I think. Which is going to powers that be. It's going to Hybrid Release the face down in a new emote, and it's going to grab a cohort in server 7. And then they're going to bounce cohort. But hey, we get a cohort back. Do we res the Spin Doctor now? I don't like it. I don't like our credit total, actually. Being on 2 is kind of a stinker. Not stoked about being on 2. They've lost 1 pinhole. They've probably got at least 1 more pinhole. Because, yeah, being on 2 means we can't petty cash. Through any mechanism. Yep, trashing this Bladderwort makes a lot of sense. The question is, are we doing FUT this game? And I don't think we are. I think we might play them, but I don't think we actually are using them. I don't think I care about this HQ run too much. Obviously, if they hit the Fuji, we lose, but we can't do anything about that. We can res the Spin Doctor. Fine, I'll res Spin Doctor. If they trash this, it's fine. I would like the nano management back eventually, but I have another Spin Doctor for that. And this is real money for them. Actually, was that their loop lock? No, they've already had their loop lock. Cohort. New emote. New emote. Go. How much money's left? Maybe still some more raindrops coming. They want to trash this for sure, but this will leave them on 2 credits. a cohort of cohorts. It's the gang. Now, I would like to be on more points than this. If we had stuck that, I think this is unlikely to win. But yeah, third, this is a bit more money that I don't want to see. Didn't trash anything, which makes sense. Are they going to check this at all? I'm not sure. They're probably sad about it because they don't get the loop lock off of it, so it is just straight up money. Okay, they are trashing it. And then gain a credit. I will cohort away my petty cash. I will play petty cash. I will new emote, new emote. Do I install FUT? Yeah. Just to make it harder for them to get everything, and I can Plutus out this longevity by resing Spin Doctor, Plutusing away the Fuji, and manipulating things that way. We're cooking. We're actually cooking. And you guys thought I would lose this game because you saw my opening hand. Oh. Oh, it's sad to be you. It's sad to be a doubter on a Dull stream. It's a tough life. It is tough. Okay, they've immediately found the Plutus. Now we consider what we do with this fact. We could res Spin Doctor, trash our hand to get a counter, or we could just let them spend a bunch of money. Do you have a Plutus Virgenesis hybrid? No Virgenesis is in the deck. No reason to do it with hybrid. We can score that anyway. How many Fuji? There's one Fuji, and we just hope to never see it or never let the runner touch it. I think we don't dump our hand for no reason. You can spend all your money to trash this Plutus. And I can just get it back with the powers that be. No Vein Drops is left, so they might be on Strike Funds, but Lose are not always on Strike Fund, so actually it's going to be hard for them to recover. I'm not too concerned about these cards. I don't actually think it's that likely that they get agendas. They see 2. So they return some cards, but should be fine. Nothing? Cool. Gain credit. Alright, now what are we doing here? We're going to start turn. We're going to cohort first. Because I'm very happy to cohort away this Fuji. That lets us use Alco. Hopefully we can find a Moonpool. We do. We do not need this Boto. We'll never be able to afford to res it. FUT is also pretty bad, but at least it's bait. We really can never afford this Boto, I'm pretty sure. We never really want this FUT. I don't think it matters because neither of them are going to get installed, but let's get rid of FUT. We found Moonpool, which is super, super nice. I can't fast advance there because we didn't find the other agenda that we need. We need one more. So maybe we do play a Boto. Maybe we do just like Boto R&D. I could imagine Botoing R&D being pretty cool. Boto R&D. I really just want to play so many cards, eh? Do I use this Moonpool? Is there already a Moonpool in the bin? There's no Moonpool in the bin. I'm just going to jam. I'm going to jam cards. New emote. And we're also going to put out an Anemone in front of a FUT and then res the FUT. I don't know that I want to res the FUT that much. Like, it's counters, but I'm not actually going to res this Anemone. Maybe I just play another FUT and keep things confusing. going to be tough to keep up with this board state. And then we're going to get rid of you, and I would like a Banana Management back in the deck. They're checking anyway. That's fine, it's a waste of a click. All right, I get 2 money off cohort. What are we trashing? Poly anemones, we can't really afford them. They can't break fly swatter, so fly swatter's load bearing at the moment. Okay, we have a moon pool line, and I think we just rip it. Yep, I don't see a reason why not. Especially with its, because it's also doing other stuff. Longevity. Moon pool. I'm going to raise a fart because it just gives us a counter and it gives them something that they have to deal with. Powers that be can go and get back a Plutus and a new remote. But can do a damage. And they immediately... I've not done much damage this game, but... And then I get all these nice cards back in R&D, which is going to be definitely you, and I guess a Bladderwort couldn't hurt. Something gets bounced, it doesn't matter too much because we can't afford to res this ice if they bounce it. And if the 3-pointer's on top. You can't believe they never bothered trashing the core. It's behind a full strength Boto. They have a 1 strength Rising Tide. It cost them 10. Even you can't believe it. They didn't have a choice. Like, they could technically afford it if they just credited and ran it, but like... Okay, and they put back this. See how important Plutus is? Plutus ever validated. You guys all thought I was going to lose this game, hey? Every single one of you, every non-believer. I might still lose. I cannot deal with this at all. There we go. Top 2 in odd agendas. That's how you win games, folks. It really is. It really is so simple. It's trivial. I could have resed Fut there, which would have also been funny, but no point in just telling them what my board state is. They actually have money here. More money than I thought that they would have. Fences. Okay, they're playing Daily Cast, playing Gourmand. All right. Let's... I'll go first. I would love to trash a Petty Cash. I would love to trash a card from HQ. It can be Anemone. I would love to Petty Cash. And then I would like to Plutus. Thinking. I could, if they run HQ, it's really annoying because I don't have a way to deal with that aside from Moonpool. I could Plutus Fuji Fly Swatter, and that actually could win me the game. So let me just try that. Because I could get the cohort counter, and then Moonpool could bail me out. This is a rare line where I'm actually trying to score my 5-3. I should have raised my FUT probably, but it's fine. There's a lot for them to think about, and if they think wrong, every time I see no pinholes in a list, I cry. There's pinholes. There's a pinhole. There's no pinholes in my stealth Lou list, but that has been amended. That has since been adjusted. We lose. I was hoping that would not be the play. Ah, so close. Kind of surprised they went for that, but I guess maybe I was more telegraphed than I thought. And maybe I should just played a bit safer and gone for the 2-pointer, 1-pointer, or 2-2-pointer line. Sad. Ah, we were so close. We were so close. Tragic. Perhaps, yeah, perhaps I could have just held hand save so I could raise the Boto on R&D and then just done fast advance. Actually, there's probably not that much money left. Very sad. Oh well. Well done, D. Fun game though. Delight. And I was much closer to winning than I think people would have expected me with that opening hand. You just got to play cards. Okay, that was a fun game. Let's jam another one. This is such a fun deck. It really is. Because like you do just have to kind of put your pedal to the metal. Oh, it's Lucy. Hello, Lucy. Baz. All right. Is this hand good? It has no ice in it, but I don't actually care because you don't really need ice against Baz. Ice is a little bit less good. It has a cohort in it. These are all good things. Spin Doctor is draws cards, card draw, peer review some money. But like an ice for transfer would not be so crazy. So I think I should mulligan. The Simak is nice because it beats Boomerang. Do I ice HQ to respect transfer? I think I do. If we have no ice, Baz is blank. Yeah, that's a good philosophy to have. I'm just going to play this, keep you busy, and chuck this on HQ. No, it should be you instead, and then you can live on HQ. All right, let's see what Lucy's got. A most irresponsible keep, she says. Wonder what that means. Maybe something greedy. Because if you can't, like, that Ludek was interacting with us very, very quickly. This, oh my god. What on earth has just happened? Reaper me? I'm not reapering you. Um, hmm. I will. Am I Hansaying? What am I Hansaying? I want more card draw with the spin doctors. I want more counters too. I could Hansay away a spin and then Plutus. That seems crazy, but it's kind of awesome. I guess I don't need this spin. I've already got a red spin. I can get the spin back. Actually, what's my follow-up plan? Is it just like Photo Plutus? But then I can't even res the Plutus because I wouldn't have 3 cards to trash for it. I could draw Plutus. Let's undo that Hansei and see if we can draw first. Okay, this makes a little bit more sense now. And I could just get the Plutus out there. They've got a lot of credits, but they probably want to draw up a lot too. Yeah, I don't know what Basilar's going to do to us. Maybe it's a deep dive deck. And this is how you get the click. Again, like a tone 1 against Cohort? I'm not even sure. Yeah, this is a risky play because Moonpool or Spin Doctor just is a 6 credit chunk. That was extremely greedy for basically no reason. I'm going to shuffle some cards away. These 2 cards. I'm going to draw more for more options. And then I can res fart. Yeah, I can't believe she committed that clean getaway knowing that there was no reason why that couldn't have been any of the 3 Spin Doctors or any of the 3 Moonpools. Hey, I remember watching a coaching video about this. Yes, that's the kind of side thing that comes up in coaching videos. So I'm trying to teach a very specific lesson, and then it's like, and then they buy a band's Spin Doctor, and I'm like, no. Also, yeah, I've got an important lesson to teach you, but this is also important. You can't do that either. Three hand size with a fart on the table is a scary prospect. I assume that there were pinholes in there. This is nice. I'm going to draw first. I'm going to trash. I don't need this peer review. It's got plenty of money. And I'm going to chuck a Boto on R&D. I assume that they're trying to do something on my centrals eventually. Got my Alco ready for next turn, so we can actually start playing quickly. Ritual Basilar, how much influences green cards? Well, I guess if you're also Nuka, I guess card draw is good. My Kingdom for a Boomerang? Boomerang's not going to save you. You can boomerang through Boto, but it involves taking 2 net damage after having played a card. So you're spending a lot of money. And chunking your value. Okay, it loses a Jaichinho to damage. This is not going to be an easy matchup for our hero. Jaichinho, if you this is SMC overclock at home. It was better than SMC. I guess you could get a propeller, which would be really, really, really good. Yeah, that was really SMC overclock at home. Sneaky one of Jaichinho. What are we looking at here? I kind of want the sericulture expansion. I also want this. I also want this. These are all amazing cards. So we're getting rid of the ice because we already have other ice. You, and you. Oh, this deck feels so good. I'm going so fast. I had kind of a slow start. We haven't had an Alco. We only had one Alco proc so far, but I'm feeling good. I'm not even sure whether I want to res this Plutus. I probably do. But maybe I could just Plutus, and then if I use Alco to draw my another agenda, I can peer review it. If I don't, I can Hunsei review and just get more money and more flocks. Or I could just score out this agriculture and just not be lazy. So she wanted to Kuapira credit. She's taking it back and she's going to do what exactly? A knife? Yeah, I think Lucy is trying to farm aura on stream, is what their kids are calling it. No shot you've drawn 2 berries in an Alco deck. Oh, she doesn't know. I mean, she's right that it's an anemone. The thing is, I'm just like stoked to res an anemone, right? I think. Am I even stoked to res an anemone? Then I can't res this Plutus. Maybe I don't have to res the Plutus anyway. Because she can't afford to trash this Plutus. It is guaranteed counters. Okay, she can't afford to trash the Plutus. I could make her spend 2 money to break the sub on the anemone. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. I think I will res the anemone while I can. But then it's so expensive to score out the sericulture. Whereas if I just scored out without resing the anemone, then I have a lot more money. I could even... Yeah, the fact that I could res this without trashing the card from my hand, that seems wrong, but kind of funny. No need to res it now. She does see the Plute with two cards. Sorry, 2 credits. I can't afford to deal with it. Maybe runs back? Do you want to install a card now? I will trash this card. Now Lucy is extremely, extremely broke. I will get rid of this Fuji. So I can just spin it away. Now I could develop a board state, or I could just score an agenda. And the answer is always just put the agendas in the bag, little bro. Fascinating. He's scoring agendas in his scoring deck. So you never play is they see someone's advance a card 3 cards sometimes and put it in their score area, and they're just confused. They're like bemused at the very idea. It's a sad state of affairs, isn't it? I don't get the scoring concept. Scoring wins games. Yeah, see, chat's never heard of this concept. They were introduced to the game through measured response and Oppo end of the line as the primary win conditions. Now, I don't think I want them to get any number of points, even though they're a knife deck. So let's keep ourselves safe here. Double HQ or R&D? I really couldn't say. For the content? I think the internet needs more of telling your opponent what to do. Just assert this is the right play. You wouldn't steer me wrong, would you? No, I wouldn't steer you wrong. Do I res this Samak? It would cost them 1, 2, 3 to fully break, which is all of their damn money. Cost me all my money too, but maybe that's less of a big deal. They don't really get too much off of this unless they like also run R&D and then play the knife, and then it's kind of a pain. Can I get money back? Not easily. They get a counter. I don't really care about the counter too much. Bears runs Chesva, they're probably knifing. If I res this and they get a free install and they can bounce, I don't really feel the need to res this. Because this gives me enough money I can install Bladderwort and Longevity next turn, and then maybe like an Anemone on Archives. Just because I think at some point you want to run Archives and it'd be useful to have an option there. They're probably knifing. I don't res. Yeah, well, they're definitely trying to knife. They're probably trying to knife this turn. At some point, they're going to need to bypass an ice, because I don't know how many ways they have to bypass. Because in order to get this out of the bin, you need to bypass an ice. And that only happens at threat 3. Lucy is assessing whether or not she actually can win by knives this game, and I think that would be extremely difficult to do. Because I don't res. Yeah, I think having the option of scoring the turn after next is why I'm thinking. So I'm looking into the future and thinking, how am I getting my next points? How am I winning this game? And it involves staying at a credit total where I can actually score out my damned points in hand. Because I'm going to need 7 eventually to close out the game. So I'm going to need 3 here, I'm going to need 2 for the hybrid, and then I'm going to need 7 more. So we're going to have to play more cards. And 2 Hanse's already in the bin, so we're going to need to get some money off assets at some point. Which shouldn't be too hard to do. I think we should be able to stick something or other. If Lucy abandons the knife plan, she's apparently given a more juicy decision. Well, if it's transfer, I can duck with resing the Samak. But the option was instead to credit and overdraw. Okay, there's the hybrid. That makes things better. I get to Bladderwort, server 6, Longevity, server 5, and Anemone Archives. And she's got 5 clicks to do whatever she wants. How powerful. This is why everyone's playing Basilar Synth Clans in their decks. To the Sheffield players, how was the heat? Was the temperature okay in the venue? Because damn, it was at the risk of sounding like NPC dialogue, damn, it was a warm weekend, eh? Chat, this is wrong, but let me have this. If I live, it'll be sick. Working so hard for a compromat. That's beautiful. Please be too expensive to res. Anything for you, Lucy. Now, will this 2-credit run event pay itself off? That's a good question. Maybe. Going really low on liquid credits. Two credit for bad pub is a fantastic rate. But you better have a good plan for what you're going to do with that bad pub. Bladderwort. I don't want to use it just this turn because I already have a plan for my credits, I think. Hey, what are we doing? We are playing Plutus Alco and having a blast with it. We're in a crazy matchup right now against a Chinyo Baz who has 2 bad publicity. But no, I don't want to use the top 3 cards. I could do, and then I could score hybrid, but they are trashing this bladder one next turn, which makes me think that my credit recovery might not be so good. Nah, we don't need to do it just this turn. Moonpool's neat. Do I trash a card? I'm going to trash this Boto just for another counter. And then I'm going to shuffle in Peer Review, Plutus, and a Hansei Review. And they're definitely going to trash this Bladderwort, but we can figure out ways to get money back. This Boto is now big, which is going to be useful for protecting our stuff. There's still more Botos. There's still 3 cohorts and 2 Botos left in the deck. This is a very, very cheap... it's a cheap-ish run. If they're going to break the subroutine, which they might not... Yeah, they do break the subroutine. It still costs them a real 3 credits. Nuka install? Okay. Yeah, I do want to... Hansei cohort Project Yagi Uda. I think Project Yagi Uda can go if they want archives, whatever. Server 5, Server 6, gain credit. Obviously, I would like the Project Yagi Uda in hand also, but... hey, well, just saying, what if instead of Pluto we had measured here? We wouldn't be able to afford to play it, is the answer. That's fine. They're on no points. I'm not too concerned about touching random centrals. We're doing. We don't need measured response. You don't need measured response to win your games for you guys. We're going to just win the old-fashioned way with nano management and a 3-2. It's going to be way harder to stop than measured. Like playing out measured with this credit total is going to be tough. Now we're poor, not both not poor again. Yes, we've both got amazing recovery here. So we're going to use this cohort first. I think I'm going to trash this moon pool with it because we have 2 more moon pools left in the deck, so it's kind of fine. And all these other cards are like amazing. Then we're going to alco to see if we can find a petty cache or something like that. Sericulture, okay, so maybe we are going to be actually... I've had 3 2-pointers, it doesn't really matter what we trash. Holy, now I really wish that we had kept that moon pool, hey? Trash 1 card. I guess the Hansei. Goodness me. If I install advance this hybrid release, I can summon the moon pool out. But then I can't, and if it's complicated. Yeah, I missed my moon pool. I think I missed my moon pool very badly. I could credit Hansei Review. That's super bad too. Whatever, we ball. We probably want the Hansei, the moon pool back out. We score in this. That's what we're here to do. You've only got 5 clicks to deal with this, and 2, yeah, we're here to put the agendas in the bag. It at least takes a click and a credit. It's something. Three clicks. Probably both of these cohorts have to get trashed, otherwise we're very, very likely to win. Yeah, this is the way to do it with a clean getaway as well. Makes it much more affordable. Fire unbroken? Okay. They lost Estebrado. Super doesn't matter. Eight credits. 8 credits. It's like that's why Krim is kind of not in the best spot in the world right now. Is because like Kuopio is kind of the thing that they're supposed to be doing because it's the in-faction adequate breaker. But holy, does it feel bad to spend 8 to break a Boto? Not that there's like that many ways to do it much cheaper, but oh, she's just gonna tank the 2 damage. Holy. With pleasure, I'll shoot you instead. Holy moly. Losing transfer? Too resistant to spend 8. She should have probably just spent the 8 there. She's lost too many cards. It's going to be a turn of like drawing back up, regardless of how we play this. Do we want to look at the top 3 cards of R&D? No, I don't think we do. Or maybe we do because it's awesome. Yes, we do. We see a Moonpool, we see a Plutus, we see a Power. We definitely don't need powers. We can credit Bladderwort Moonpool. Bladderwort, Server 6. Moon pool. Oh, we could just gain another credit. And if we gain another credit. Okay, so line coming up. We gain credit. That way next turn we can peer review and nano management and just win. And now I can install Bladderwall or Plutus. Both of them mean like if I install Plutus in server 5, if they don't run it, I can win that way. If they do run it, I can win. So we no longer need this, and we no longer need the Hansei. Moonpool in case they check archives. 4 points ain't nothing to a guy like me. Yeah, we've got a lot of different FA lines here. And they can only hit singles because their win condition is knife. The nice thing about not having knife as your win condition is that your accesses also find the addendas that they want to score. I could see something being said that I'm the only guy in the world who cares to score agendas in this day and age. So maybe knives are fine because who cares? No one's actually putting the agendas in their score areas. Okay, that's one of them. You got 2 more hits to find the extra one. One more hit, 1 and 4. She thinks we're on 0 credits if we play it. Oh, it's charming. Ah, she found it. The peer review combo. No, it's good. Perfectly cromulent 7 credits. Three to score because it's a 3-2. This is why you put 3-2s in your decks, guys. If remote is Plutus, you can FA. Yeah, she's exactly right. Can hope that Yagi is the only agenda in hand, or punt for another one and hope you dry up. Works. If they steal the agenda here, is actually really annoying. 1 and 4. No. Okay. Well, they found the line, which is to her credit. Now, there's 7 2-pointers in the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4 are out. 2 of them are also gone. So if I res this Plutus, I could see the top 3 and find out if any of them are 2-pointers, and I would win. But to do that, I need to sack my hand. I could also alternately sack a hybrid release, but that doesn't give me the counter that I need to actually see them. If only we had Kakurembo, that doesn't help. Whatever. We play. Fuji. Fuji. Can I score Fuji? Probably not. I could peer review it. I want 7 credits. No, I can't score Fuji. Okay. We just set thread in the same thing again, but it's a bit more awkward. Oof, 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 oof. We can do better than 4 out of 17 to win. We can definitely do better. Plutus for the AU counters. Hope to see another 3-2. Yeah, it's a consideration, but to do that, I would need to sack my hand, which means I can't actually score out the 3-2 with the other cards unless I happen to draw another moon pool and the 3-2, which is not that likely. And because there's not many 3-2s, it's hard because we've already drawn so many of them. Do we live in a world where the optimal crim play is 5 singles on HQ in 1 turn? I fully believe that. Well, we're never visiting the Semax, so you can do as you please. I could res the Spin Doctor, res Plutus to get it out of my hand if I'm worried about that. So 5 is Plutus, no doubt. But that doesn't win unless you draw an agenda. Server 6 scares me. Okay. She can trash Moonpool from hand, which might be a useful thing to do to get the odds better if with the 5 singles. Okay. We've got a weird play here that might seem crazy, but I'm pretty sure it's fine. I'm going to res. I'm going to res this Plutus. Trash this, and I guess I don't really need the hybrid either, but the powers is... I think it's fine. Okay, they do... She does get the moon pool. Okay, it's annoying. If she does run archives, it's annoying. She should poke archives here because then I need to spin back the 5-3. I guess she doesn't know that all the 2 pointers are in the bin, which is really annoying. I wish wasn't the case, but I did outcode block where all 3 were agendas, which is super bad. It's an interesting game. You can't say it doesn't make for interesting games. Also same set, I believe. These were both elevation. Okay, instead poke Spin Doctor. I have to do the face up Fuji, and then I also have to do a 2-pointer. Nothing on HQ. Two more clicks. The Bacillar clicks paying dividends. How many nanos in a row can she hit? Well, like, let's not let her get away with too much. She did hit both of my agendas by just hitting random singles. This game is hype. Now, what is a good game, guys? Does anyone notice this? Thoughts? So with peer review and nano, there's no reason to trash the Pluto because 4 credits is enough to a fast advance of 3-2 anyway. She's correct about that. Are you brave enough to install the 3-2 with the hybrid? No. Are you crazy? There's a world where you kept a 3-2, but I think your chance of drawing it with Alco might be higher. Probably a correct assessment. We've got a real thinker. We've got a real thinker over here. Chat, you can learn a lot from this. Lucy not running archives is going to be a throw? Yeah, I mean, that's like we just shuffled things away with Spin Doctor, right? Like we've had a lot of opportunities to shuffle. There was technically 5 face downs, but it only ended up that stinking bad because we saw the top 3 with I was just thinking about it. But yeah, my read would not necessarily be that there's points. Fact is, if she runs archives, we are very likely to win this game because she knows that the win is not in archives, so it's just 2 points. So if she throws archives here, we have 2 cards, and we're seeing the top 4. So we've got 2 agendas that we can see to win, which would be pretty easy, I think. The spin one should have been archives. I agree with that. Okay, chance she wins here, pretty unlikely. 1 in 14 she wins. She doesn't gotta like that. Alco first. Look at the top 3 cards. That's a Project Yagi Uda. Play a transaction from archives. I would love to play a petty cash. It's beautiful. It's cinema. It's cinema. Holy. Oh, man. Woohoo! This is why we play. Holy. That was good. That's good. Knives aren't plan A for this deck. They are just plan if they don't install ice to get smart with it. doesn't get owned by Epiphany. Okay. Well, if 3 cards take for Epiphany, maybe I could definitely see it working against Epiphany actually. That's smart. That's fun. Maybe I'll experiment with some Knives deck. NSG hasn't quite given me enough reasons to want to do it just yet, but I'm easily convinced. Basically, if they redid something similar to security testing, something similar to this, very elegant card. When your turn begins, choose a server. When you make a run on that server, instead of breaching it, you gain 2 credits. This basically allows you to have your runs be good without seeing cards. So decks that punish you for seeing cards, all of a sudden you no longer get that punish. So this was like a reason why you would want to be running but not interacting, because you could win with Knives, and this would be your little juicy. Hello Lucy, what a game! What a game! I guess just technically the Vibratos are here to pull back Knives, but like it's an okay enough card anyway. Yeah. I liked your thought process, because it was just like, as we were talking, you would bring up the thing like running archives rather than running the spin, assessing whether or not the Plutus mattered. People besmirch my Plutus. It matters, right? Like you have to trash it. It's extremely important. Now, did I scrape by a win against Jairzinho Baz? Yeah, yeah. But if you're a real gamer, every win should be a scrape by win. That's the most fun. Are you really playing unless you're having fun? I know you're really having fun unless your wins are by the freaking skin of your teeth. Well, this game specifically, I didn't have to trash it. Yeah, kinda. You had to trash the first one that I installed that was behind this. They had to run twice. That was a big click and credit sync, which was very nice for me. It's more bad pub Baz than Jairzinho Baz. Okay. Well, if only we had security testing, but as a hardware in Shaper for Hiram, what a beautiful world that would be. It would be a very different world, and I can tell you Hiram would not be good if he had hardware security testing. At all. I don't even. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to fix Baz. They would need to print an extremely bizarre card. Sorry, not Baz. I don't think there's a way to fix Hiram. The words on the card that fixes Hiram would have to be basically unlike any Netrunner card. I think he is just weak. My thought process really did begin with, how can we get bad pub for Baz installs? Yeah, it's probably the best thing you can use bad pub for. It's already so difficult to spend credits during a run that you really need more temptation for that. Haim has no 1 credit or draw 1. Yep, and that's why he sucks. Whenever you, yeah, Griffin Thomas, was a joke I was making earlier. Like, they would have to print a card that was like, whenever you look at the top card of R&D, gain an agenda point, or something like that. Because, oh man, there's no synergy currently with looking at the top card of R&D, and there shouldn't be. Like, what kind of mechanic would that be? It's not expose. Not that expose, I think, makes much sense to me either as like a mechanic that should have payoffs. It should be just what it does, in my opinion. But yeah, like the Methuselah is so funny. I do have a Methuselah playmat now though, and it's very beautiful. And then Hiram can call the card correctly for the payoff. Yeah. Man, the payoff would have to be crazy. Like, when you access the top card of R&D, call and the card name, if you get it right, you get like $1 bajillion. Yeah. I'd rather just like run twice for the most part, but yeah. You have a Plutus playmat? I'm jealous of the Plutus playmats. They look awesome. I think you have to go to a CTK to get them, and I did not go to the most recent CTK where they were probably as the prize pool, so I need to get to a CTK at some point so I can get a Plutus playmat, because I do have a lot of playmats now. Not to show off how awesome I am in Netrunner, but I have a lot of playmats, and none of them have Plutus on them. It's like I'm not much of a collector. I'm not much of a hoarder of things. I don't use alt arts or collect alt arts. I don't use stuff, but I just end up with playmats, and they're cool enough that they're not like I'm just gonna give them away or get rid of them. Although if you need a playmat, I'll just give you a playmat. But the Plutus one looks so good that I kind of do want it. And apparently the Letha, the Ambient Ice is going to be the world's prizing, and it's going to be gold foil if you get in the top cut, or like in the top couple. And I do want that. Of course I want that, but that's going to be hard. You all need to forgive me if I don't get that. When you look at a corp card outside of a run, you may access it. Yeah, it would need to be a card like that, which is like the game is no longer fun anymore. Essential, if successful, choose a card name. And when you access a card with the chosen name, trash it and gain 10 credits. If the run ends and you did not access the card with the chosen name, gain 2 net damage. See, that would probably not be playable in Hiram. Well, you'd play in Hiram, but it would still not be good. Because Malleus U would just like pick R&D every turn. And your ID would be just as bad. Simply make the top card at Worlds. I'm not even sure if the whole top card gets the gold for. I think you need to like do well within the top card. And I didn't even make the top card at Worlds in 2025. Although I'm probably a bit better than I was then. It's gnarly into spin and other deck. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of ways to turn off Hiram. So if there's any consequence to him being wrong, it doesn't work. He needs a Whistleblower. That's a Hiram card. That lets you pick the name of a card. I've enjoyed playing Hiram. It would be better out of any other idea. Yeah, I've yet to see a Hiram list that wouldn't just be better than Lat. Or Maggie. You want to see an ID that has sweet synergy with hardware? Maggie installs it, which is, if you're running good hardware, you probably want to install it, right? Do you guys want to see me play like Hiram? Because I haven't done it yet, because I'm so certain that he's bad, and I've seen so little that has sparked inspiration for me to like build it. And I don't think I could build a better Hiram deck than other people have. You know what the best Hiram deck is, probably? Do I have a copy of Vatlat? Let's do a deckless search. People were certain that Cyber Trooper Tulu was bad. Clearly the solution is Cyber Trooper Tulu Hiram. There is, I discussed in my Padma video, a theory of mind that is the bad card theory of gravity, where people think they can take a bad card and like fix it by putting another like other bad cards with it, which is why you always see Thule lists running the harmonics package. Because like, yeah, Thule is not the best thing to be doing, so they think, well, if I'm doing the suboptimal thing, the way that I can hack it and actually be good is that I put the harmonics package in there. There's no reason to do that. Harmonics package sucks. Everyone knows it sucks. That hasn't gotten any better. But like it's two negatives will reverse out and will obstruct the unicorn deck that everyone missed actually. But that's not how it works. If you want to play Thule, you should play really good ice. You should not play the harmonics package, but you always see it. Anyway, I wanted to find Vatlat. Lucy probably has a link that will get it to me faster than I can search it. Vatlat. I think that's what it was called. Latlat is not what it was called. Okay. So I'm going to make a copy of this. And then we're going to edit it. Am I allowed to change IDs when I edit things? Someone who knows what they're talking about. Can I change the ID of a deck? I can't, right? You gotta just copy it. He says cut the Mamie for a heart, hush, pinhole. So might cut the Mamie and a heart for a hush and pinhole. Okay. Go to the identity tab on the right. Ah, you can do it in here, can you? It's empty. In IDs? What if I just search Hiram and just... Am I missing something? He is not actuating. He's not presenting himself to me. You're covering the UI. I am. Oh, he's appeared. One Hiram. Okay. And now I'm being told 0. Harmony. 0. We're doing hush. 1. And we're doing pinhole. Yeah, pinhole. Pinhole is nice. Pinhole is good. Cool. This is probably the best Hiram list. Let's play a game of Hiram. This will be the first Hiram on the channel. What hardware are we trashing? Who cares? Oh, shout out again to whoever decided to make everything copy and when I copy and paste it. Mwah. What a delight. Feels good to be streaming again. Gotta do this more. There are 9 Hiram triggers in the list. No more, no less. The Hiram triggers were the friends we made along the way. It's a nice way to think about it. Another way to think about it is that, like, these are all good cards, and you should play good cards in your decks. You should not play the Hiram lists that people have been making because they don't have good cards in them. They forgot to put them in. The deck does tend to do about 3 or 4 Hiram triggers in a single turn, though. Yeah, it's possible that we'll pop all of our Simon chips on the same turn, but that's fine. You get to look at the top card of the deck 3 times if you pop all 3 Simon chips. You can gaze at it, cradle it in your hands. When you spam out your whole rig on overclock with Simon chips, yeah, exactly. This is my list from betting. It's a good deck. It's probably the best Hiram deck. Nebula. Ooh, we get to see all the cards. I've since dropped the reprisals for twinning. They did feel good sometimes. Okay, so we've got Illumination Creative Nuke. I think this hand is awesome. So I'm going to keep it. It doesn't have companions in it. Am I supposed to hard mulligan for companions? Or am I just like, this hand is really good? And Nebula likes to ice on turn 1 R&D, but it's not guaranteed. I think I like it. I think having a nuke and a creative and an illumination is like so much good stuff. Sorry, let me... Like, I want companions, of course, but this hand is maybe too sick to ignore. Yes. Oh, okay. I'm going to nuke a draw because I would like more installables. Oh! So we win, right? Kaiko. Lets me look at the top card of R&D. I missed it. It doesn't matter. I'm going to see it anyway. So we can't lose. The game's over? Dude, Highland's kind of cracked. Do you guys notice this? It says, oh, I've got my cyber feeder. My cyber feeder's... Guys, Highland might be insane. Highland might be the best idea I've ever seen in my life. Now, they do have filthy money. I don't want to get... I don't want to do anything. I think this is just like, they can't... If this was a lesson, I would say, how do I win? I just use my faster development to overpower them. How do I lose? I get oppoed and killed early. So to that end, I think I might contest the Spin Doctor, but if I like Burner and find 3 points or something like that, I'm just going to get a big oppoed because all they have is money. So I am going to turn them off and I am going to run the spin, but that's really all I'm going to do. So I'm going to do my higher variance things first, which is going to be running HQ. I've entered threat 3 anyway, which makes me want to just get ready for the actual threat, which is Oppo, and I'm glad that I ran first, because now I'm threat 3. I'm definitely going to just prepare for the incoming big Oppo. No reason to get fancy. Burner bottom Oppo? It could work. I'd rather save the burner when I have the clicks to handle whatever I see. Because, for example, I could see a tomorrow's headline. It's too late in the game. I really want to be doing that earlier. They've gained a credit. They did not flip, so I do not need to care about what they do. Oh, man, we have so much time. I'm gonna check the Spin Doctor and play a Hush on that ice. Just because I need to spend my click somehow and I don't want to touch centrals. If they want to shuffle back in, they can. If they don't want to do that, that's also fine. I shouldn't Hush because it could be an end pot. I can move the Hush. Is that or I overdraw? I'm not clicking for a credit here. All right, I'll touch Spin Doctor. I think it's more likely to be an ice that I want to Hush. It could also be F2P, which would be annoying. That actually would be annoying. Okay, I'll overdraw the Hush. You've convinced me. Oh, it's ping though. It's always ping. It's always ping. I guess this is not really better than ping. And like I can just clear the tag. All right, goodbye. Just clear the tag. Fine. Relethe, something like that. Okay, still no flip. I just need to get my rig assembled. Lucy, this deck sucks. Lucy. Okay, we don't need all these overclocks. I'm just going to keep drawing. Well, I could Propeller and run Server 2. Why am I drawing? To find my simul chips and breakers so that I can just deep dive them and win the game. What do you want? What do you want by a draw? I gotta play this damn thing. Do I need 2 deep dives? I already found 3 points. I need 1 deep dive. Am I gonna take damage? I'm gonna take damage. No one takes damage these days. But also 3 overclocks is hella overkill, so we don't need all that. We click for 4 credits here? No. 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 That's not what we're doing. You're right that there's no urgency, but how do we lose? We lose by them presenting and actually threatening board state, and we can't deal with it. That's how we lose. The last thing I want to be doing is sitting with 20 credits rather than 16 and no way to actually deal with what they present. That's not helpful. That's somewhat helpful. I'm just going to play both these cards. I don't need the propeller, straight up. I'm going to draw past the propeller. You install the propeller and want full rig? Nah, wrong. There are no barriers. NBN has a rule in the game that says you're not allowed to run any. The only one they have is ping. Everyone told me that paywall would be good. It's garbage. They have no barriers. You're allowed, you can run capacitor if you want to. Is that what it's called? Yeah, they've got no barriers. Don't worry about it. Obviously, like maybe echelon might matter. We can get it back if we desperately need it. Okay, they've scored an agenda. They're going to Myoshu me. That would be awesome if this is a Myoshu deck. It's for the F2P Lether Seraph strength on echelon. I think you're thinking too far ahead. I need to throw something away, and I think the deep dive is just going to win me the game. Let's see what's on top of the deck. First click. Hiram looks at artificial crypto crash on top of R&D. All right, you've convinced me. I don't know what that upgrade is, but I'm going to assume it's like Hollow Man. I doubt it's actually a defensive thing. If it is, we can pay through it. It could be... Oh, it is Seraph. Hello. All right. So I go and fetch my revolver. It's flagship for Nebula to block the flip. Yeah, could be true. You're telling me there's no revolver in this list, so I have to do this the hard way with echelon? Yuck. Diabolical. But you know what? Doesn't matter. I will... Getting high strength echelon is important. Well, doesn't change the breakpoint here, but I'm seeing that. Which of these do I want to do? I don't want to suffer 2 net damage because I have deep dives. Losing 3 is the easiest one, so I have to lose 3. It isn't a maze. You're wrong, Lucy. I will steal that Amaze Amusements. So I steal that Cryptic Crash. Okay. I guess I could have grabbed SMC back. I don't want to spend the 3. Okay. If I run HQ, and it's an ice I'm allowed to walk through, I can simulchip back the SMC, fetch the Picha Chow for 3 credits total. Then I will have 4 credits left, depending on what this ice is. This could be good. I could just clear 2 tags and not get owned, but I think I'm getting owned by Oppo Research if I clear 2 tags. So this doesn't really play around anything if I just clear 2 tags. So let's just win now. And Simulchip can even tell me if I can just win on R&D without having to spend the... Runs on HQ is real bad? It's not that bad. It ends the run. That's like yeah. The bad thing is if it's piranhas. If it's anything else, it's kind of fine, isn't it? What else is in this list? I gotta say, I didn't have to. I didn't expect to have to spend so much money. Where's that lat? I put it away. Whatever. Let's just win. Oh, I've missed my window. Yeah, I needed to put my sandwich up first. That's annoying. Okay, I'm gonna burn her just to get rid of whatever punish they might have. My bad. This was poorly played. I am Elbozo. They have no punish. Okay, I want them to keep grubber. So Regolith on top, Hollow Man on the bottom, I guess. To make sure they don't draw anything interesting. I guess if they have End of the Line, I die here, but we just saw half the hand. We could have used Peach on the burner run, yeah, but I didn't want to do that anymore. Because like the click doesn't matter as much if I'm not using it to play deep dive, right? Sure, I'll take a tag off public trail. Not, I guess that's just to get the flip back. That's fine. Now, if they don't do anything that next turn, I'm just going to triple clear and then we can just win slowly. No VATs. I wish I had my friends. Interesting that they didn't res this. Retribution is fine. On Kaiko, sure. I don't really care. That's your punish. One retribution. So it's a scoring list, I guess. Because you wouldn't run retribution if you're trying to kill. I guess if I used Pichichao on the burner run, it meant that I could have picked up the top of R&D, but like with whatever I burn it, that's worth thinking about at least. But I didn't know that without the maybe I just assume it's not Piranhas. I was already not playing around Piranhas really. They're making a remote server. Interesting. Okay. I will just play really slowly and then win very like over a long time. I don't believe that you can get to 7 points before I deep dive you, basically. I don't know what those servers are. I want a revolver. What are we up to? We're just dawdling. We're just doing nothing. They can try and score up to 7 as quickly as they possibly can, but until they prove they can do that, I think we have a fair bit of time. Not running means they can't oppo us. So I'm just not going to run until I deep dive. Yeah, Seraph was a expensive thing to hit here, but I guess maybe we should have expected it more because they have so much money. We can start clicking for credits soon. I'm pretty sure drawing is still more than clicking for credits because there were still sure gambles in the actually 2 sure gambles, 2 daily casts. I've got Paladin. I want. Oh, we've got a powers that be. Okay. Well, that's annoying. That did cost them some money though. Cost me money because now we've got to clear my tags. Yeah. So next turn's like credit, gamble, and then maybe I can get the deep dive turn off. Pavana's still a problem. They're probably happy to leave the Spin Doctor iced because it means that they can interrupt my Hiram trigger. They don't know that I don't actually care about my Hiram trigger. I'm just trying to play normal. Sudden Commandment is a very expensive way to fast advance if they want to do it this way. I guess they could YDL or something like that here. To draw 2 cards, gain click, Nebula gain click. Do they not have an operation? Oh, this is going to be super expensive for them. We might just win here. Well, I guess we don't win because we don't have money. Clearing these tags might have just been wrong. Maybe I just tank the tags and never clear them. Can't res Pavanas, so maybe we just win this turn. They're going to undo some of that. Maybe they're realizing how much this is going to put them down. Okay, they're undoing all the way back to... Okay, you can't undo the Sudden Commandment. Because the Sudden Commandment drew you 2, and that really matters. Everything else is fine. Oh, right, because they got the clip back. So they were 4 clicks still. So I was like, they can't undo that whole turn. It's fine. It's not the JNet log being weird. It's me missing that because they undid all 3 clicks. One, two, three. Yeah, they undid 3 clicks, which is usually undoing your whole turn, but in this case is not close to that. My goodness me, they're Plutusing me. Everyone's Plutusing me. Holy. The Plutus stream. This is awesome. I don't know what's happening. What are they even playing? They can't play anything. It's not the start of their turn. They're just using it to spin doctor. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna burner and see what happens. I kind of want to credit Sure Gamble. But if they burner, they can't actually play anything with this Plutus because they have to res ice. And face up, they don't have anything that shuffles. They've RFG 2 spin doctors. Maybe they've drawn all 3 spin doctors. Like there's a lot of stuff installed that all could be spin. Crazy to see powers in a Nebula deck. Crypto Crash, IP Enforcement, Crypto Crash. Interesting. Let's put an IP Enforcement on the bottom and a Crypto Crash on the top. Now I've got a couple of options. I could run HQ, use the Simul chip to move the Pichu Chow, which lets me check that the top is a Crypto Crash. That means I can run HQ a couple of times. I'm pretty sure I want to do this. Because I don't know which one of these is Spin Doctor. Okay, I just found it. And there we go. It's the best Hiram deck we've ever seen. This is a really interesting deck. I don't know what it does, but it's interesting. I assume it scores. Undefeated with Hiram. Let's just run it straight back. That was awesome. Hiram's so goated. And we even knew what the top one was on R&D thanks to Hiram. Yeah, we won the game, and we knew exactly what the top of R&D was. And you know what? It was an agenda. Isn't that sweet? Plutus Nebula seems cool. Okay. These are, I think, of the same tier. Sorry, let me, the Grand Unveil. It's Ampere. Who's that Pokemon? Okay. So DZMZ Optimizer is a Hiram trigger. The rest of his hand is some ass. Mulligan. Okay. This hand is terrible. Lucy? What have you done? What are you doing to me? It was Lucy's testing team that built this deck, which is why I can blame her for any variance that occurs. Uh-oh, Ampere. Yep. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. I guess I install Kaiko. It's really bad, but like I got to install some of these cards. It's kind of a credited turn. And I get to look at the top card. Hiram, go. Hansei review. Noted. It's all in here. I wonder what card they will play next. I'm going to guess Hansei review. Draw. Hansei review. Okay, we're not calling Taka on one over Zeki. I'm just not chill with that actually. Okay, we found illumination with some ass in hand. We're gonna draw again. Lucy. It's like seeing one click into the future. It's a terrifying ability. Okay, so we have SMC, so I'm happy with these overclocks. I think this illumination's not going to be played, and maybe we don't need this hush until proven otherwise. One of the big things we realize with this deck is that Taka is just Rizeki. I guess there's SMC, which is something you can actually use. Okay, I don't know what's going on over there. They're roommates. Do you think I should just overclock it? It's probably just like bite. Who cares? Sure, it's Angelique and humanoid. Whatever. Okay, we've lost a deep dive and the other overclock. It's all good. We can draw. I'm gonna draw next turn, so I'm happy to just play SMC. Going ritual next turn to draw up might be easier hand size wise. There's enough ways to spend it that if you don't hit away before it gets too high, you get comically bad variance. You got 3 turns to be running with a program installed as a deep dive deck. I don't think I really want to be doing that. Credit daily cast creative is really good. Now, show me more Rizekis. Show me Paladin. That's a Rizeki. That's a Rizeki. Clearly a Hendrik. Hendrik is the name. Mr. Lee is a Crim card. I don't know who Mr. Lee is. I don't know Mr. Lee. Giga disagree with the overclock turn. You should have spent Fencer with to stall it and get Kaiko money. I suppose it would be a Kaiko proc. I don't know what they're gonna do, to be honest. Like, look, Fences can eat this. Is that good? I have no idea. I have literally no idea what they're doing. But hey, they're on traps. Profound. It's true that Kaiko could have liquidated one of the Fencer credits. That's a good point. I'm going to draw first. I'm going to run server 2. I have no idea what this is. Probably a bite. Anthill. There you go. Fencer. Eat to your heart's content. And then I draw and play a propeller. Next turn I can play Simulchat first and decide whether I will care to run R&D. Or maybe I need my echelon installed before I do all that, in case it's like draft or something. I'll put and hold that. Yeah. Whatever. Are you done, Fencer? Like, there's one in the deck. Like, who cares, right? Like, literally, who cares about this deck? There's not much to learn against Ampere, unfortunately. There's not much strategy to be had. I think I still pay one. Or maybe it's time to let Fencer go. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What's this? I have no idea. Could be a Disaster, probably not. Probably just a decent agenda. You get to run good agendas in Empire. It's the one tomorrow's headline. Do they have the one end of the line? They were greasing the palm. That's tempo. The one greasing the palm. I am, however, getting pretty good money, and they aren't. So next turn, I wouldn't be opposed to, like, maybe doing a burner play. Do I ritual to draw 2? Yes. Okay, I'm just going to keep setting up and deep dive them and call it a day. Although I have lost a deep dive to 2 of the 5 damage I've taken so far. I'll be more concerned when they play an actual money card, because there's no way they can afford to cash these checks at the moment. Where are my Rozekis? It's a hollow, man. They can't afford to be doing this. It's the one above the law. Whatever. Like, I don't know. Who cares? I don't know how to play around that. Let's burn them HQ. Now that they have no money, I feel very good about this. Can you use Fencer to pay for SMC or the subsequent install? No, unfortunately you can't. Not normally. Because there's no paid ability after you are successful. Which is, oops. But you can use it to trash stuff. You can use it if the buyer bans, for example, if you're playing a run event that lets you do something like after you're successful. You can use it to pay for buyer bans installs or illumination installs. You can also use it on ganked. And if you're doing ganked and you've been bounced back into an ice, you actually do get paid abilities where you can do whatever you want with it. So it's very good into ganked. Oppo research public trail retribution. Yeah, all right, buddy. Well, you can't afford to do any of these, so I'm kind of sad because these cards all suck for you right now. I guess I put Oppo and retribution to the bottom. Well, I guess I could put the tag givers to the bottom and leave you with that retribution. Do you guys want to see a cool Hiram trick? Oh, shoot, I don't have MU. Okay, SMC, you're gone. Actually, it's just not important to do that, really. I could gamble illumination. I could overclock the Hollow Man to get rid of it while it's super easy to do. And then... yeah, let's do that because I can also pop a SMC on the way. So it's actually pretty money efficient. And I can grab Propeller. They can't afford to res any of this stuff. I assume it's not Vine. Echelon was trash, that's fine. So that's what I have to use my other things for. And then this should do the job. I've got to use a Simul chip for that at some point. let's draw. Going to draw past that. Going to illuminate. Is there another propeller in the deck? There is. I might want to swap it out so I can MU. Sure, I'll spend 3 to get the last propeller out of the deck on the board. That way I can install... I guess it doesn't really matter too much. Casts Peter Chow on, I guess, R&D. They can over-install it, which is annoying, so maybe HQ. The res dice. I don't think I care to install this Gauss. Install Gauss, and you have Echelon 6 when you get it. Sure, it cost me 1. I don't have MU for Echelon 6. I'm just not going to install it. I don't want to spend the credit. Do I try Spin Doctor? Sure, it's the only Spin Doctor. Taka. There's a DZ in the deck? Okay, that's fair. Well, when there's a DZ, this will also cost 1. Think about that. Oh, the DZ is so juicy because it's a Hiram trigger. It's Tempo DZ. A rat, finally a rat in my rat deck. I killed the other rat. I sacrificed him. Her, I should say. I'm going to draw last because I'm a bad player. I'm bad at the game. There's also a lot of cards in my hand that I don't want. Okay, Hiram trigger. Hell yeah. Are you ready, kids? Also, it was a target for Simon Chip. Right, let's have a look. It's Sprint. Good to know. Let's draw the rest of my deck. Find the deep dive. Gain credit. Do you not trigger Tyrum on discard? No, you don't. The game trashes it if you discard it. You have to actively trash it with something. We're on Hiram clicks for 4 credits down? Oh yeah. I mean, we actually have quite a bit of money. We could probably just do the deep dive next time. Like, it's not like they're going to be rezzing stuff that actually requires too much from us. Yes, there are 2 different special kinds of add to archives. One of them is you adding it, and one of them is just it got added. Let's see what's on top of the deck. Escape net. Maybe this is just the home for Hiram. This is just what Hiram does. Because Lat, when you think about it, Lat would not have any text here. Is it deep dive time? Yeah. I don't know what's in server 3. I have no idea, but I don't really care. Annoyingly taxing Afshar should be fine. Gain click. Paywall. No. I actually don't need to use my propeller counter on this. Okay. Thank God. Didn't hit deep dive. You want to duck target here in case you steal? I have every intention of continuing to run though, and if they don't res, then that's fine, right? Okay, this is a bit annoying. I could chip in a... No, I'm going to save my chip. I don't want to chip in my hush just for that. Ping, whatever. What if we were ordering Highway? We could be looping strike funds and a Highway trigger. Yep, it's been done, and it is some ass. Like, it's just not good. Could be an Esker. The one Esker could hit the deep dive. Could be an anemone. I have no idea what it is. All right. We found longevity serum. It's something. That's the only thing, yeah? Measure response, public trial, a bunch of other nonsense. Okay. Longevity serum it is. I will not spend click to access the other card. I will just remove my tag. This rat did not give me much value, Lucy. I'm very upset. Now we do have a powerful play in that we can chip one time to see R&D without actually having to run it. Now that's not that much cheaper than just like running R&D. But whatever. They probably do have an end of the line. They haven't found it yet. You're going to get owned by anemone? There's no anemone on the board because it would have killed me last turn. Think about that. That's the profound insight that we get as a knowledgeable Highland player. Okay, so they're boosting the hell out of the escape net, which is so funny. Do I spend 11 credits to save it? No. I don't get my Hiram trigger anymore. It's a disaster. They are really poor though. So maybe there's like a Sycentan here or something like that. Urtica Cypher over here? I have no idea. Sycentan in this server? Whatever, let's run R&D and just win. Lion's Bane, okay. Useful. I'm going to run HQ. There was an agenda in there last we checked. It gives us a click back. I'm just doing this because it lets me spend Taka money rather than my own money. Tattoo Bowler, the Magnet. They're only doing this because this kills me, but I don't really want to play out the rest of this game, to be honest. They're doing this because there's a damage subroutine here that does enough to kill me, right? 1 HQ again to draw to 2. Get the Peachy Chow back in hand is a smart idea. I like it. That's fun. And if it's Slice in Town, it still works, but if it's Lion's Mane, it actually doesn't really work. Well, I guess Lion's Mane, we know it's not that, but it could be a teeny? Can't be a teeny. What does 3 damage on such low credits? Whatever. If we don't win this turn, I don't really care to go on. I don't think there's much to be learned from this game. Damn, the 2 tags on the paywall? Holy. Yeah, I guess I knew that one of those cards was Retribution and one of them was Tati Bowler, so maybe the HQ ones are just being silly. And then if this is like Charlotte or something. Ah, the sequence of my turn. I wish someone had put out an awesome video about turn sequencing. It is a 2 damage sentry. Holy. The game-winning play. Oh, and it was a 3-pointer too. Fun, fun. And that's why they pay you the big bucks. Yes, well done, Lucy. I don't know that I would have caught that play. I've done it before, but I wasn't thinking about it on the sports date. Three more creds could have res the inner ice, but I was on borrowed time. Maybe. I mean, it's possible that RNG just holds for a moment. Okay, so we missed the SDS on the HQ runs. That's fine. We didn't see that many. Okay, we got a game out of it. We got a game out of it. Hiram is sick nasty, is what we've learned. It's still undefeated. I'm going to check with my partner if I have to make dinner tonight, and then I will let you know whether I can do one more Vat Hiram. And you can. This is the best Hiram gameplay you can see. No one else is doing it like this. One moment. Okay, so I do have to make a dinner, and I'm getting hungry. So that's going to be it for today. But thank you everyone for tuning in. What a delightful stream. I'm glad to be doing it again, and I will do more because it's so fun. And I think I'm free tomorrow night, so maybe there will even be a stream tomorrow. Cool. Much love. Hope everyone's doing okay in the heat. Hope everyone enjoyed the stream. If anyone wants coaching, you know how to reach me on Discord. And you do not have to end up on YouTube if you want coaching. We can do it private, which most of them are not streamed and you won't ever hear about them. Although I did have a student who got second recently at a CTK. So there you go. I get results. Anyway, have a lovely evening or morning, depending on where you are. And goodbye.